because I feel like this question will come up later anyway, I'm going to ask it now. Who do you like more? Crash Bandicoot or Spyro?
Me personally, I've never actually sat down myself and played through a whole Crash Bandicoot game, so I've got a biased opinion of saying Spyro. But saying that though, I can only limit myself to Spyro 1, Gateway to Glimmer, and Year of the Dragon. I've tried to play Enter the Dragonfly, but any disc I try to play on it seems really, really laggy and buggy and glitchy. And then I played like maybe half of Hero's Tale, and that's as far as I've gotten.
Yep, and I'm the exact opposite. I have played the first 3 Crash Bandicoot games and never played a Spyro game. So, yeah. So that was easy, wasn't it? That would be 1-1 then.
But one thing I will the only Crash Bandicoot games I have played, I've played Crash Bash. That was such a blast playing that.
That is good.
And I've also played Crash Team Racing. They're the only 2 Crash Bandicoot games I'd say I've played from start to finish.
Okay. I never really liked Crash Team Racing. I didn't like the mechanics of it. I think I'm so ingrained with playing Mario Kart that my hands just would not physically allow me to play the game as it's meant to be played. It's like drifting, what sort of shit? Like,
Yeah, the drifting mechanic did take me ages to get used to.
Yeah, it's a bit odd, isn't it? I thought it'd work exactly the same as like the later Mario Karts, where like the longer you drift, the more boost you get, and it kind of does, but doesn't at the same time.
Yeah. Well, I like them both, but like Brandon, I lean towards Spyro.
Yes.
Well, if you know me, dragons. I like dragons, so that I'm a bit biased on that point anyway. But I've played all the Spyro, like the original trilogy, and same with Crash Bandicoot. But the Spyro games, just for me, hit it on the nail. They were just the ones. So it was Spyro was the better mascot for me.
Yeah, but Spyro doesn't go whoa. So
no, but at least you get a dragonfly that goes pss, pss, pss. Like you get all the other. And also, do you remember in Spyro, if you'd flame the NPCs, they'd make their own sort of sound effect when you did it?
Yeah.
Like, I loved going through and just setting fire or just bumping into them to make them go, ow! Or like to make a really weird sound effects.
No, I'm going to one-up you one more for another reason why Crash is better. The level where you go to ride a pig and Crash just looks at the camera and wiggles his eyebrows, giving it a mean look. Like he's going to do something really bad to that pig. It's worth it for that.
Well, he did ride it.
He did ride that pig.
It was definitely hog wild.
Yeah, it was. Although I will say this for the remaster, the facial expression you did for it in that is not as good as the PS1 one. The PS1 was so much more sinister.
Oh, you know what? That's going to remind me. Actually, if we're comparing like remasters and stuff, if I just take a moment just to talk about the Spyro Insane trilogy.
Go for it.
You know, in the original 3 Spyro games, Dan,
yeah,
every character had really unique accents, didn't they?
Yeah.
They seem to have scrapped them when it came to the Reignited trilogy. I loved the
I'll be honest,
accents.
That I felt the same.
I love the accents. You know, like when you're doing Sergeant Bird's mission and all like the hummingbirds had their French accents. I thought that was wicked.
Well, you still had Tom Kenny. He still did Spyro, or he didn't voice Spyro in the first game, but he voiced him in the second too. But they brought him back for the Reignited trilogy anyway. If you don't know who Tom Kenny is, he voices SpongeBob.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, the guy who voices Spyro voices SpongeBob. Tom Kenny.
I need to see this. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I certainly did. Tom Kenny's done a lot of voice work.
Yeah,
probably stuff that you wouldn't even
He's in
realize.
Space.
Yes, he is.
Which I finished season 3 recently, so I was like, oh yeah, I forgot Tom Kenny's in that.
Yeah, I can give or take Final Space. I still haven't finished series 3 yet. I kind of lost interest in it a bit.
It's cancelled now anyway. But yeah, Tom Kenny's in in place SpongeBob, Brandon. There you go.
Wait, what? Elijah Wood's in it?
No, Elijah Wood doesn't play. No, Elijah Wood plays Spyro in The Legend of Spyro.
Uh,
Oh, I thought you were going to say Elijah Wood plays the Hog in Hog Wild.
no, it's because I just googled like Spyro behind the voice actor. Then all of a sudden I'm seeing all these things appearing. I'm just like, huh? Apparently, like according to this map, if they're placing them wherever they are, it almost looked like Elijah Wood is the voice behind Alora. It doesn't look right. No. I know it doesn't look right at all, but yeah, this is the way that it just looked like it was implied. But yeah, anyway, moving on.
Welcome to Victory Achieved Podcast, a video game podcast. I'm here with Brandon and Chris, like always.
Konnichiwa.
Hello. Do we not get fancy titles this week?
I try.
Thing one and thing two.
I forget what. I'm here with what? Brandon Spyro and Chris Bandicoot. I don't know.
Yeah, what is
Chris
Spyro?
Chris Bandicoot works great.
Wait, no, if you've got Chris Bandicoot, I'm Brandon the Dragon. That's as far as we can go with
Brandon
that.
the Dragonfly.
Hold on. Brandon the Dragon. That's Brandon Lee from the film Dragon, though, isn't it? You might have a copyright problem there.
Actually, no. Being real here, that's actually how I got my name. Is Brandon? Part of my middle name is Lee, so it is actually based from Brandon Lee. Yeah.
I was about to say, I imagine you got your name from your parents.
Well, yeah, but my dad wanted to name me after Bruce Lee's son.
Fair enough.
So yeah, so that's pretty cool.
So Brandon, just make sure, right? You stay away from any prop guns and Russell Crowe.
I'll try my best.
Fucking hell.
First, when you said prop guns, I thought you was on about the other recent thing which happened, but I was like, oh yeah, hang on.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And like always, it's me, Dan. Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
And the Bandit Dragon.
Yeah. Well, I guess since we were talking about Spyro and Crash Bandicoot, it's funny how they're now owned by Microsoft.
You what?
Yeah, It's funny. They're now owned by Microsoft.
So does that?
So
I was going to say, oh, sorry.
Fucking hell.
We've got too much to say on this.
It's just a delay.
Yeah, so I was about to say, isn't it weird that two franchises, Spyro and Crash, who were both originally PlayStation exclusives, are now exclusive to Microsoft?
Yeah. Is it Bear Knox and Toys for Bob? I think they're the two companies. I know definitely Toys for Bob. I think.
Aye.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird world. Weird gaming world.
It sure is.
I was about to say, does this now mean that any sort of iterations we'd be getting of those is just going to be Xbox exclusive, or maybe it might appear on PC?
Potentially. So, I guess let's just talk about this fully. If no one knows, basically Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard for 68 million. Is it million or billion?
Billion. 67.8 billion.
Yeah.
Billion?
You can buy a lot of copies of Spyro the Dragon for that.
Yeah. Not many ET. That's still buried under. But yeah, it's kind of a really interesting deal on a lot of levels, because I know we've been a bit iffy with Activision Blizzard.
Yeah, say that again.
Yeah, with the many things behind the curtain, let's say. They've had a lot of issues in recent months, and so in some ways the deal kind of shows how bad things have been at that company, that they've been bought out by Microsoft, and hopefully there's some good coming, like, for the people that work at Activision Blizzard, with Microsoft now holding the reins.
Yes,
I don't really know.
I personally hope that Bill Gates goes up to every single, for lack of a better word, shithead in Microsoft.
Microposition.
Activision Blizzard. Yeah, Microposition, yes. In Activision Blizzard, goes up to every person responsible for what they did and personally castrate them and then set them on fire and then hit them with a steamroller that is also on fire. That would be great. And I do find I get through day by day. What gets me real calm is just thinking about all the lovely ways that Bobby Kotick could be tortured. That's a real calming presence.
It sounds like it helps you sleep peacefully.
It does, yeah. Anyway, oh yeah, Microsoft, yeah, the actual merger, yeah. So, yeah, he's hoping that the Activision Blizzard, all the bad eggs will be weeded out, and they can take all the IPs that Activision Blizzard do have, like World of Warcraft, Diablo as well, Call of Duty. They can actually do something better with them. There'll probably be less crunch time, because if they merge, all the people that work on these titles will have more time and more people to work with, so they can get a better polished product, should hope. Plus, with all the funding they'll have. I mean, for gamers, like the actual games, it will be fantastic, we should hope. There'll be nothing like rushed out the doors. Yeah, so, like, you get your Call of Duties and they knock them out like year after year, and there's like minimal content, and it's just the same thing over and over again. Well, now's the time to like wipe the slate clean. You can start again. You can do something new and original. In theory.
Maybe. Well, sorry. In terms of like the franchises, like Microsoft have now got, they've got, of course, Spyro and Crash Bandicoot, as we already mentioned, and Call of Duty, Guitar Hero as well, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. See all the Blizzard ones: Warcraft, Starcraft, Overwatch, Diablo, Hearthstone, Heroes of Storm. You got Candy Crush as well. That's the thing. And I think all the other, and then you've got the other studios. So you obviously Blizzard, Infinity War, Sledgehammer Games, and Treyarch, and Raven, that all do the Call of Duty. There's King. I'm not really sure what they do. You got Beanox and Toys for Bob that also do Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, and then the last two are Demonware and High Moon, which I'm not sure about. But it's a pretty weird thing to think about, that these are all Microsoft. Like, a lot of these, you think PlayStation for like over 10 years, nearly 15 years, some of these, some 20.
Well, I did mention, a couple of times, probably a few months ago, that we were saying like how Crunchyroll are supposed to be doing stuff with like PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
To like add it to it. And I think something like that really needs to happen now with PlayStation. They've got to pull their thumb out their arse.
They really do.
Yeah.
Because Game Pass is great anyway.
Yeah.
And now they're going to get all these exclusive titles under their belt. It's just going to drown it out.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. PlayStation's got some great titles, but I've got to say, I've just paid out another £50 for the year for PlayStation Plus. Mostly because I forgot to cancel it and couldn't be asked. But I can't see what I'm actually going to do with it. The quality of like games they've been releasing, like on just the PlayStation Plus, they're always like older games or ones I've already got. I mean, I suppose this one's not been too bad because you've got the Persona 5 Strikers, which I can't say I've got much interest in, but I'm sure people do.
It's meant to be really good, actually.
Yeah, I've heard that. I don't know. I don't think it's really my bag. We'll see though. I might download it for shits and giggles. But
Well, I don't think
yeah,
you've played Persona anyway.
I have.
Oh, have you played?
I very much have.
Oh,
I haven't finished any of them all. That's the thing. I much prefer the Shin Megami Tensei games, like just the mainline ones, to the Persona ones. But that's just me. I'm not a big fan of like the overhanging sort of time limit or the interaction bits in like the high school. I'm not a fan of that. That's not my bag.
yeah.
But the actual like JRPG mechanic, yeah,
You want
I love that.
you want a doey game. You don't want a talky game.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, but like Digital Devil Saga and as I say, the mainline ones, they're fantastic. I really like those.
But I do agree with PS Plus needs to be better because Game Pass is just too good. We spoke about this so many like before, but now with this deal, it's kind of even more. It put even more weight on why Game Pass is so good.
Well, this is what I was thinking. Like, because I said, like Crunchyroll could be a part of PlayStation Plus, and I think that'll be a massive step in the right direction. If, like, say, PlayStation can get a monopoly more possibly on the streaming services rather than gaming, maybe, because that's something they could potentially do. I'm just spitballing, but it's something to consider.
I don't know. I've heard rumors that they might do something a bit like Game Pass, but they literally kind of have to do the same thing. Otherwise, they've just got no chance.
Like, well, they already have. They've got PlayStation Now, but it's not very good.
Not that great.
Yeah, of all the ones I've seen on PlayStation Now, I'd probably say maybe less than 20 games I think I actually paid attention to.
Right.
I mean, there was like a few on there which I thought were okay, but I mean, there were some games on there which I've already got them. I think the best one, which I don't even know if this is exclusive just to PS Now, but the fact that Sonic Adventure was on there, I thought that was pretty dope. Like, that was probably one of the main reasons I got it was for Sonic Adventure. It was back when COVID was on, so I actually went through and just played a bit of some of the PS Now games.
The thing is, though, Brandon, I bet both Sonic Adventures are on Game Pass.
They probably, yeah. I don't doubt that at all.
Well, I do have both Sonic Adventures on my Xbox, so yeah, they're not on Game Pass, but they are available on there.
I don't know what Sony and PlayStation need to do, but they need to move in a direction that's giving a lot of content and make it valuable for the consumer. Because as soon as I saw that deal, I was like, you know what? I might get an Xbox. That was my first thought. And I have not thought about getting an Xbox for years. So I didn't think I'd think that. But right now the only game that's drawing me to the PS5 is Demon's Souls.
Yeah, is it worth getting a console just for one game though?
Exactly.
Well, I bloody did.
You know what, Chris? You're not the only one.
No, I'm like...
I've got to say, like, I think it was Demon's Souls, yeah.
I suppose I can justify it because I've got Ratchet and Clank as well.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do a quick Google. Let's just see what upcoming Sony exclusives we've got coming. Which I doubt there's going to be many.
Well, Nintendo need to pull their fingers out of bum as well. Do something. Because they've got the hands down, got the worst one. By a long shot. Their service is awful.
Yeah.
But we've moaned about that many a time.
Why do you think YouTube got rid of the dislike button? Anyway, the fact that Nintendo fucked up that much that YouTube got rid of the dislike button tells you it.
Wait, what?
Do you not know why YouTube got rid of the dislike button, Brandon?
I thought it was just something so... I don't know, it just seemed like a really promiscuous thing, because a lot of the YouTubers were moaning about it.
So when the Nintendo Direct happened, where they revealed the N64 the Switch Online expansion pass, it had the most dislikes on any YouTube video ever.
Even more than Justin Bieber Baby.
Yeah, it had the most dislikes ever.
Even more than the Ghostbusters 2016.
Yeah, apparently.
How is that possible?
Even more than Bobby Kotick.
Oh, fuck that guy.
So, yeah, that and so they got rid of it.
Just for that one reason, like how much would have Nintendo have had to have bribed Google to do that?
No idea, but that's why the dislike button is not on YouTube anymore. Well, it is still there, but you don't see how many dislikes there are anymore. It's because of Nintendo.
As consumers, sometimes we depend on that dislike button because, like, say for example, if we're trying to find a tutorial for something, you gauge it by dislikes because there's a lot of dislikes. You tell, okay, it's shit.
I feel
like that's the main reason I think I paid attention to the dislike button.
Yeah.
But the only thing which I see has always been a bit crappy about the dislike button is just the trolls. Like people just upload a video and 2 seconds later you've got people just pressing dislike. I'm just like, why? The video's not even been up for like 2 seconds, and how do you automatically? Like, I've just never understood, like, a normal YouTube video, what drives people to just click, you know what, I'm gonna dislike this. I literally think the only videos I've ever disliked on YouTube are those when it's like a crappy tutorial, a Rickroll back in the days, and Justin Bieber Baby. I think they're the only ones I've pressed dislike on.
See, the weird thing with the dislike button, it's not like it's got rid of it completely. The creators can still see it. So it's not like they've removed it to sort of like stop people producing, because I understand like the psychology. If people see that their video is disliked, it might put them off forever from wanting to create anything. But it's still there for them. So what's the fucking point?
Yeah, it is a bit weird.
I've lost all trailer thoughts right now. I need guidance. Tell me what we're doing.
Don't worry. Okay, let's point this in the direction of stuff. So, we've been... It's only been a week since we recorded last. We haven't done a great deal of stuff, yeah. I've not said what I'm going to say yet. No, we've managed to catch up on watching a few films between us. Well, I haven't, at least. So, yeah, well, Brandon's done fuck all. But he's in the process of moving house, so we'll let him off this week. So, yeah, Brandon, go and sit in the corner for him.
I had a frustrating week last week, and I needed to simmer down when I got home, so I didn't really, except for anime, which I'm just not going to talk about this episode. I didn't want to play anything new or anything. I was like, I just wanted to be in my comfort zone, and so I was like, I'm not really gonna digest any new content unless it's anime.
Well, I have compiled some stuff, but before we get to compiles, I was just thinking, compilations.
No, don't summon the piles. They're bad for your ass.
Good one. In that case, I did say stand in the corner, not sit in the corner, didn't I say, remember?
Thank you for looking after my rectum.
You're very welcome. I've got an inflatable seagull next to me if you want to sit on that. Don't ask. Yeah. What the fuck was I doing, mate? Yeah, so, compilations. More specifically, gaming compilations. Now, we got asked about this on the Facebook page. So, yes, if you do have questions that you want to know, chuck it in the Facebook. We'll see it. And we will respond. If you're very, very unlucky.
Funny enough, we did have another topic for today, but then we saw this and we were like, actually, we're going to go with this. So, there we go.
Yes, we thought this might be more interesting.
Yeah, the other one was a bit... Yeah.
Oh, my dog's barking in the background. I do apologise. You can hear that. Yes. So, what are like some of the best gaming compilations you've ever played? Does anyone want to start?
Come on, Brandon, bang out those obvious
I
ones.
was say I'll start
Get
one
out the
off.
corner.
I'm going to start with some very generic, vanilla stuff going on here. So we started off talking about Spyro and Crash Bandicoot. So I'm going to start off by talking about the Spyro Reignited trilogy. Very vanilla thing, but I'm so glad I actually got to be able to get them remastered, purely because trying to grab a working functional copy of that Spyro the Dragon was difficult at times, but the graphical uplift on Spyro the Dragon was quite nice. I'm so happy that they've also kept in the original soundtracks to them, because I think we've probably mentioned that already, like very at the start of the first few podcasts. I think we mentioned about the music.
Because I mentioned it was Stuart Copeland, the drummer of the Police.
But yeah, I freaking loved the Spyro the Dragon, the Spyro Reignited trilogy, just reliving through all of them. I don't know if it's just me, but it just feels easier. I don't know if it's just me now that I'm playing it as a nearly 30-year-old.
I think I've 100%ed them before, so I think now you're a experienced gamer. You're like, these are actually far easier than I realized.
Yeah,
when I played as a kid, they felt far more difficult, but in reality, no, they are that easy.
Yeah, I just found that as a shock. I'm trying to think. Sorry, what?
Which of the three is your favourite?
For me, I think personally, I like Year of the Dragon the most.
Okay.
I don't know what it is about it. I've just always enjoyed Year of the Dragon. I like the interaction between, Hunter and the Sorceress. I like all the soundtracks from Spyro the Dragon. Like Cloud Spires, I think remains as one of my favourite Spyro soundtracks of all times. I absolutely adored that. I mean, the bosses were quirky, although I feel like some of the graphical uplifts on some of the bosses in Spyro the Dragon, they could have maybe made them a bit more freaky, but I'm guessing they're still trying to keep it geared towards children in a certain aspect. Because, I mean, if you remember, like, what they used to look like in the old ones, when the polygon shapes, it looks quite frightening at times. But yeah, I'd say third is my favourite.
For me,
followed by 2, then 1.
For me, it was Gateway to Glimmer, as it's called in Europe, or Ripto's Rage is its other name. So Spyro 2 is my favourite. I think it takes everything that 1 was great at and perfects it. And I feel like, as much as I do like Year of the Dragon, I feel like some of their ideas are stretched, where all the perfect ideas, all the new ideas, all the great ideas are all in Spyro 2, and it's just fantastic. But all three are fantastic games. It's a great trilogy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So.
I mean, even like when I was playing back Spyro, like the Dragon, like some of the actual maps, they're quite. I think my biggest gripe with Spyro the Dragon is just how easy the bosses are. Like the bosses are just they're not really bosses. They're just follow this route, and for some reason this scarecrow dies, and that's the boss done.
There you go. But
like it's
as a bundle of 3 games, it's a tasty meal. It's tasty.
Always very tasty.
It's a tasty treat.
Yes, very tasty.
Well, I haven't got much to say about Spyro, but I have been informed by a very well-loved podcast with 3 sexy blokes in it that Tom Kenny does the voice acting.
You're never going to look back on that now, are you?
No.
Just going to be forever burned to your retinas.
And my ears.
So, Chris.
So what other compilations are there?
Well, that's 1 or 2.
Come on. Feed me, feed me.
All right, I'll list off a couple. I'll compile some. So, if we're talking retro, one of the ones that I used to play an awful lot on the Super Nintendo, and I bet you a lot of other people did, if sales numbers are to be believed. How about some classic Mario with the Super Mario All-Stars collection?
Yes,
I love
especially
that.
the extra one, the later edition where they put Super Mario World in it. So much good.
So much good.
I just thought, because of you, I just thought of another one I hadn't thought of, and like, oh, here we go.
What's that?
Carry on, Chris.
Well, the one of the great things about the All Stars package is it was one of the first ones that I can think of that didn't just package the games together, but also give them like a graphical uplift. Like the first three all had the first two made the graphics to look more like Mario 3 at the time, but even then the graphics were uplifted. But the characters had more shapes and they actually look more like Mario than blocky pixels. You know what I mean? And it was the first time that we over in the West got Super Mario The Lost Levels, known as Japan as Super Mario 2, which they didn't release over here because we thought we were shit at games and we would find it too hard. And you know what? They're fucking right. It's fucking balls hard if you've ever tried playing it.
Yep.
So I ain't complaining. I did try playing it and beating it legit back in the day, but yeah, it won't happen. But if you had to pick one off that collection, well, we know it's going to be Super Mario World, but which ones do you prefer? Do you prefer like Mario 3? Do you prefer like the classic ones? Do you prefer not Doki Doki Panic?
I quite like Super Mario Bros. 3, only because until I played it earlier the year, so my earliest gaming memories with Super Mario Bros. I always thought it was the original one. When I played number 3, I realised it was number 3. So the first game I ever played was Super Mario Bros. 3. So I think for me, that would always be the one I gravitate the most to.
Aye. And I must also point out that in Mario 3, it does not feature voice acting by Tom Kenny, I'm afraid.
Nope, it
Which is a
doesn't.
shame.
May as well return it then.
There you go.
If you played Mario 3, you probably one of your strongest memories with it, if you played it back when it came out, is probably everyone remembers the cheat in it. Whereas it like level 3, you jump on the white block, hold down, so you crouch for like 5 seconds, and you run behind the background, get the warp whistle, and then just like skip the entire game. I remember doing that so many times. It was basically the equivalent of a level select. But yeah, once I found that out, I don't think I ever played the game legitimately ever again.
I think I was the same thing on the original Super Mario's. It's just like when you've got those elevators, you just got the elevators, go down the back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Walk across the scoreboard.
Yeah, just go over the top.
Does anybody actually play Mario properly anymore? Or does everyone just do that? I know speedrunners do it.
I don't think I've actually. Now that you say it, I don't think I've legitimately played it since I found that out.
No, everyone's played level 1 to death and the last level to death. The whole middle of the game completely missed.
No World 2 and 3.
Yeah. There's poor designers who worked so hard over those levels. Wasted your time, man.
But they added it on purpose. Like, why were they adding the warp pipes like at the end? Like, they'd know you'd want to use them.
Maybe there isn't. Maybe it's a psychological. They're just there to make you think you skipped it. In fact, they would now. They're just calling it down to like developer crunch. Like say, we didn't release the whole game, but shh, just tell them we've got a level select. No one will know. No one will fucking play it. It'll be fine. If we can patch them in later as DLC and charge 50 quid each. Yeah. But yeah, that's one of my favourite compilations. If we're talking a bit newer, and by a bit newer I still mean about 25 years ago, me and my cousin used to play Die Hard Trilogy a lot. Do you guys ever play that?
No.
And here's gonna be a hot take: I've not even seen the films.
The fuck, Brandon?
Well, Brandon's about to die. No, I'm kidding.
All I know is they're a Christmas classic.
No yippee-ki-yays for you.
Damn.
Whereas I own a fucking die-hard jumper with ho ho ho, I've got a machine gun on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's the two type of people we've got in this world: people who love Die Hard and people who are wrong.
And people who are Seed Full Metal Alchemists and those who haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah, true that.
And I'm one of those as well.
Yeah, but somehow I have, and I'm not the anime guy. So what the hell? What the hell, Brandon? So yeah,
I'm terrible.
yeah. So you know what? Full Metal Alchemist could just be the plot to Die Hard, and you'd have no idea.
Pretty much.
Anyway, yes. Before we get off track, so Die Hard trilogy game back on the PlayStation 1, and probably the fondest memory I have of it is just having an argument with my cousin, not the actual game itself, because he used to insist when he was younger that the word trilogy was pronounced triology, and he would not have it, and it wasn't. So he just used to call it triology all the time, and me and my dad were like chipping in, saying, "No, it's trilogy." I mean, he wouldn't have it. He just wouldn't have it. It's so stubborn. It's like, no, it's triology.
How
Which
did you
was-
not smack some sense into him?
Well, because he's my cousin, and he's a good lad. But this is only compounded by the fact around the same time you had Alien Trilogy come out as well on PS1. So it wasn't tied down to one game. You had Alien Triology as well as Die Hard Triology. Got it in stereo. But I think overall, I did think about, does Alien Trilogy really count as a compilation game? And on reflection, not really. It is just one game. It's just plot-wise, it takes place over like the 3 films. Kind of, sort of, not really. But Die Hard Trilogy features like 3 full games on it. And they're all like tie in with the films. So like the first game is like a sort of third person shooter based around the Nakatomi Plaza. So the second game is like a first person like railgun shooter, a bit like Virtua Cop, but taking place in the airport like in the film. And the third game is kind of like a driving game, but I could never get the hang out of it because it's so fucking hard. It's got a time limit on it, so you got to like drive really fast to like checkpoints, and that's pretty much all there is to it. It's pretty basic, but I could never beat it. It was just far too hard. Think Crazy Taxi, but without. It was just completely linear, rather than being an open map. It was kind of like that. But yeah, I do have fond memories of that game, mainly for just taking the piss out of my cousin. but it still cemented it in it. And if you do get a copy, the first game in particular, like the third-person shooter one, is genuinely a good game. And it's one of those games where there's tons of cheats for it. So you can put in like stuff like paintball mode, big head mode. You can even put in a mode where the trees scream if you shoot them, and that's it. That's the cheat. Yeah.
Well, I guess it's my turn. So I've kind of got a few, but the first one, well, kind of 2, because I could split it into 2. So there's kind of 2 versions of this, kinda. So there's one where it has 3 or 5 games, and then the other one that has, let's check it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 games. So these are some great HD collections. So the first one is the Metal Gear Solid HD collection, and the second one is Metal Gear Solid The Legacy collection.
Can you put both collections together and have an even better collection?
Well, here's the thing. You may as if you have the Legacy collection, there's no point in having the HD collection, because the HD collection is part of the Legacy collection.
So what is the difference?
So the HD collection has Metal Gear 2, Solid Snake, Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater, and Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker.
That's a hell of a collection.
Yeah, it is. But the Legacy collection has all of them, plus Metal Gear Solid VR missions, Metal Gear Solid 4 Guns of the Patriots as well.
Does it have the TurboGrafx 16 original game thrown in with that?
What? Pardon?
Like the original Metal Gear Solid that was on TurboGrafx 16.
Yeah, that's what
which
I said.
then got ported in.
When I said Metal Gear and Metal Gear Solid 2.
Yeah, it's in no way confusing.
I mean, not Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2. Sorry. Yeah, both of them are on both collections.
Sweet. I've never played those.
Neither, and I've got them, and I've never played them.
Something to do. We've got to do that at some point. Got to play them.
Yeah. No, there's two fantastic collections. You got two of the best on both of them. You got obviously Metal Gear Solid 2 and Metal Gear Solid 3, two fantastic Metal Gear Solid games. Sometimes I like my friend who now lives in Belgium. We bonded over Metal Gear Solid 2. Like we've had we've spoken about for hours and hours about Metal Gear Solid 2. It's just such a crazy game that just pulls the rug under you. If you ever played it, you know why. But it is such a great game. I know it had its gripes when it came out, but I love it. And then you have Metal Gear Solid 3. That is just what
that's the best in my opinion.
What can you say? It's a masterpiece.
It really is. Like of all the games, that one's got the best story. It's for my money, it's got the best gameplay in it as well by far. I like the survival mechanics the game throws in. Initially, I've before I started playing it, I was slightly hesitant because they said it takes place in the 60s, and I was thinking, well, how the hell does stuff like radar work? 'Cause surely it will be worse than like 1 and 2, and the radars weren't exactly great in those games. But no, it works even better. So the older technology somehow is better than the newer sci-fi stuff. Well done, Metal Gear.
There's a pick for me. I guess if I had to pick something else, only because it was a bundle of 2 games, technically free, I got when I first got my favourite console, the GameCube, and I still play these games to this day, because why not? And it's the Wind Waker, with Ocarina of Time and Ocarina of Time Master Quest.
No Skyward Sword?
What's that game?
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. But yes, it is Wind Waker with Ocarina of Time. Like, what can you say? 2 fantastic Zelda games in one bundle. I don't think I paid. How much did I must have paid like 15-20 quid. Like, that absolute steal.
I've got it on my shelf. I'm wondering if I still got the price tag on. I might have to have a look.
I have a random question. Because the first time I actually got exposed to the Legend of Zelda games was on a demo disc for the GameCube.
Yeah,
and that demo disc had the full, like, Legend of Zelda 1, Legend of Zelda 2, full Ocarina of Time, full Majora's Mask, and then a 20-minute demo of Wind Waker.
That was another one. I've never owned it, so I can't say.
Oh my god!
Like, that is another great bundle. The only thing I've heard is that the copies of those games were a bit iffy.
I thought they were okay. I mean, they were a bit jank because of the GameCube controller, but it felt very, very comfortable.
I've read like some copies were a bit iffy, but for the most part they were fine.
I have to say, if it wasn't for that demo disc, I probably would have taken me a lot longer to pick up The Legend of Zelda. Like, that demo disc is what I think inspired me for a lot of, probably even paved the way to JRPGs in general, maybe.
Right then, so I do have the Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition. I don't know if this is the same as yours or whether mine's quite rare. I believe it's rare. But my collection is actually in with Mario Kart Double Dash.
Yes,
like
yes,
a
that's what
special
I
promo
had.
one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's got the original Zelda, Zelda 2, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and the demo for Wind Waker as well.
Yeah, that's literally what I had on the Double Dash one.
There was
I've got the manual in my hands because it's one of those nice ones that's got a manual. I can flick through it.
It was
it's
so
nice.
good.
Here's something to make you even more special, guys. There are only 1,000 copies distributed that way.
Are you
Is that
kidding?
right?
With Double Dash.
Hell yeah, Chris, we're lucky.
I've still got a sticker on mine. Mine's in really good nick.
I think I've lost the case.
I haven't. I've got it in my hands right now. Well, I'm going to retire, guys, so I'll see you in a little bit, yeah? I'm genuinely going to have a look now to see how much that's worth.
Oh yeah. Brandon, it says that there were frame rate issues on the collector's edition.
Shh, don't tell me that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I would like. I probably wouldn't even have noticed it, even if you did tell me years ago.
Yeah.
But it was still a very fun play.
Oh yeah, like the fact that you get Legend of Zelda, Zelda 2, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask, and a bit of Wind Waker. Like what a set.
The other thing is, I only played Wind Waker for the first time. I think it was a couple years ago when I borrowed it off you. I think that was the first time I played Wind Waker full, because the only experience I've ever had was from that disc. I don't know why it took me so long to do it. I think it's probably just trying to find it. Like the availability, like as a kid, of trying to find those particular games. Like, yeah, I think that's probably what it was. Because looking back, the toon shading in it for its time is freaking phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
Guys, I'm sorry. I've come back from early retirement. I've just looked on eBay, and apparently these copies of Mario Kart Double Dash special editions are only going for 60 quid. So, yeah.
I mean, so let's just say, like, compared to modern days, like, how much do you think The Legend of Zelda would have cost back in the days to get brand new? 30 quid, maybe?
Probably.
So,
I think just to buy Ocarina of Time and like the 3DS is like 35 quid now. So
so you're looking at arguably 100, like maybe 120 quid's worth of games for 60 quid, according to Amazon. Like, still pretty good.
Do you want to know how much I paid for it?
I guess you got it for free with the GameCube.
Yes, I did. And do you know how much I paid for the GameCube with an extra controller and Double Dash?
50 quid.
Nearly 60.
Okay, that's still flipping good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not bad, is it?
Nah, that is a right steal. That.
Yeah, and this is when the game is like new. I remember buying it from it would have been Forbidden Planet.
From there.
Yeah, I got it from there back in today when it was called Another World, when he used to sell games upstairs. Back into there.
Back into it. I was literally thinking that as well.
Yeah, I got some really good bargains in there. Shame to stop doing it.
I was going to say, speaking of the bargains, one of the compilations, which I've obviously said in the last episode, is the Master Chief Collection for Halo. By getting Halo Reach, Halo Combat Evolved, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo ODST, and Halo 4. And I think I picked it up for, a tenner. Or something around that ballpark. I thought that was a steal. I mean, yes, it's on Game Pass, but it means I'm not having to buy an Xbox, and it's also giving me like the first, like actually being able to play like a first-person shooter on a PC, like getting practice for that. God, it's so good. Like, I'm really, really enjoying it. So I finished Halo Reach. I've never actually, I don't think I've ever gotten to the end of Halo Reach, and that ending part of Halo Reach I thought was really, really nice. I don't know if you guys know it.
No.
Yeah.
So basically, the whole concept of Reach is it's literally, it's set before obviously Master Chief. It's a squadron of Spartans, and it's based around Planet Reach. And gradually, as you go through the mission, some of the Spartans get killed off, until you are the last Spartan left, and you have to fire a railgun to take out a Covenant cruiser. And the partner who you're with, he dies. So you're like, okay, I'm going to have to be the one to stay back and fire this gun to bring down this cruiser. So you stay back, you shoot down the cruiser, and then you're literally just this one Spartan alone with no way off the planet. Basically, it's almost like like Horde from Gears of War, how gradual waves. I wouldn't say it's like that as such, but you're just there alone. And it's like a misted, ruinous city, and you're just there fighting elites until you die. And I thought that was really, really cool. It felt really dramatic. Very, very nice ending. And then now I'm on Halo 1, and I've got no idea what the fuck I'm doing.
I think the question that our listeners want to know is the Halo series as a whole has lots of voice acting in it. Is one of the characters voiced by Tom Kenny?
Master Chief.
Yes.
He takes off his helmet. It's just SpongeBob.
Yeah.
He's like,
That's why he's got he just takes the mask off. I
thought it'd be Squidward underneath. I thought it'd be Squidward.
No, that's Arbiter.
So who's Mr. Krabs then?
Mr. Krabs. I was gonna say Cortana, but no, she's probably Sandy.
I was about to say Mr. Krabs were the little small aliens.
Oh, the grunts.
What the grunts?
I thought
they're all Patrick.
I was going to say they were Patrick.
Okay.
Just running around. At this point, I've never watched SpongeBob.
Any other compilations?
Well,
have a think. It's not really a compilation as such, but I suppose it is pretty good for the amount of games you get on there. And that's I think it's on like every platform now. The Sega Mega Drive collection.
yeah.
That's really good. Although I don't know why Sega seems to have some kind of phobia with putting Sonic 3 on every collection. Put like 1 and 2 on it, and then like chicken out. They put, oh no, we'll put Sonic CD or Sonic 3D on instead.
Well, another one that I think we haven't mentioned it, have we? But you have Super Mario All-Star 3D All-Stars.
Yeah, we did. I thought then for a moment, Dan, you had Alzheimer's, and we were just going to talk about All-Stars again.
No.
Oh, I love that game. Oh. Hey guys, have I told you about Die Hard Triology?
Yeah. Yeah,
Welcome to Victory Chief Podcast.
So anyway, I hear Skyward Sword's a good game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed 3D All Stars.
Yeah, I did.
I
can't believe I actually bought it.
It actually came out at a time. I think maybe a couple months before it came out. I was literally talking to work colleagues. I was just like, you know what? I really fancy playing Super Mario 64. But then I was just like, and then it got announced, and I was like, oh shit, I can get 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Odyssey. I've never played Odyssey.
Galaxy.
It's Galaxy.
I knew it was some sort of spatial figure. But yeah, obviously of the three, I think Galaxy was probably my least favorite. I'm such a fanboy for Sunshine and 64. I mean, because I think when I was playing Galaxy, just all the world teal and just made my head hurt. I think that's probably my gripe with that. But yeah, that was freaking amazing playing the three.
Trying to play the Galaxy on the Switch and handheld mode was a fucking nightmare. But I still did it because I'm so stubborn.
Well, there's I guess
I'll say
examples for good bundles. So
I was gonna say before we move on, I've just got a quick question for you both. What gaming series would you like to see get re-released as a compilation or bundle?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Oh,
a lot of mine have.
Yeah. Right. Do you mean like even if it was like a remake or just the more
either a remake or just a rebrand or just something like? What would you see get made as a bundle?
Ooh, that's a very good one. Because say that all the ones I'm looking at have already been like bundles. Because I'm looking at stuff like, let's see,
I think the one for me, which already does have there is already on the Wii. You can already get all three of them as a bundle on the Wii, but I'd like to see it on the Switch, and it's the Metro Prime trilogy. Only because I don't like the Wii controls.
That's a good shout, actually. I think I'm gonna have to agree with you there.
I don't like the Wii controls, so that's why I've never. It was in the back of my mind. Oh, should I mention the Metro Prime trilogy? But I don't like the Wii controls, but I like the GameCube controls. So if you can still have the GameCube controls on like the Switch, then yeah, I'd love that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Well, surely it's a no-brainer. When 4 finally comes out, they'll probably do like the whole collection then. Surely.
Hopefully, but who knows? Nintendo is weird.
Yeah, but it's a license to print money. If you could have that, so we'll see.
Otherwise, my other one is Time Splitters trilogy. Remaster that. Bad Boys. There you go.
Yeah. Again, though, they are supposedly working on a 4th one. So
they've been that rumor's been going for years. Who knows? I don't believe it anymore. I've heard that rumor for so long. I'm like, until I see something in concrete, I won't believe it. Sadly.
Hang on a minute. Who owns the rights to Time Splitters now? Is it EA? Was it? It's not. Is it not Activision Blizzard? Is it?
No, it might be EA. Because I don't know which studio, because when I was looking at it a long time ago, the studio that bought out is it Radical? Was it Radical? Who did?
Yeah, Radical Entertainment.
Yeah. Was Crysis or Crytek, who do the Crysis games, but I don't know what's gone on with that studio now.
Well, EA own Crysis. I know that because they did Crysis 3.
Yeah, I don't know what's gone on now.
I think that series is dead now. It's finished with that. It had its trilogy. They were good.
Oh no, I meant I don't know what they're doing with what that studio's doing with Time Splitters. Like Crysis is whatever. Well, I say that I played 2. It was a interesting game.
I have a weird way of playing Crysis. I got lent Crysis 2. And I honestly really enjoyed it. And then I went back and played the first one, which felt a bit bare bones after playing the second one, but I still enjoyed it. And then I went out my way and bought Crysis 3 on release, and I haven't finished it.
Never played Crysis.
Do you know what it is, Brandon?
It sounds like a shooting game.
It is a shooting game.
Because usually when I hear Crysis, I just think Time Crisis. You know, like the game with the pedal.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. All right, very, very quickly, because I don't know when the hell we're going to talk about Crysis again. So, there used to be the running joke when the first Crysis came out, because it was so graphically intensive. It's like no computer could run it. So, like, for ages, the running joke is like, oh yeah, it's a nice PC, but can it run Crysis? Yeah, that was like the go-to meme about 50 years ago.
oh my gosh! You know what that Crytek are working on? Crysis 2 remastered.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, apparently, it came out last year. When did that come out?
Did it?
I don't remember that.
No, I don't recall that.
I'm gonna have a look now on Steam, but
is it actually? Is it just like a sort of HD remaster kind of thing? So it's like minimal effort. That's why we've not.
Oh yeah, noticed. It's out. It's here. It's on Steam. Crysis Remastered. Oh no.
Was it just on Steam?
Oh no, yeah. Crysis 2 Maximum Edition.
Never fucking heard of it.
I didn't even realise this. It came out 4 days before my. But oh wait, no, that was the original. Wait, no, this is not the. Wait, no, this is not what it is. No, wait, this is. Never mind. This is that. That's not.
Doing things.
Have you misspelt it? You're looking at a completely different game.
No, that was just normal Crisis 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Crisis 2. Crisis 2 definitely came out at some point. Otherwise, what the fuck have I been playing?
All right. I was going to say, just to answer my own question, I've got two which I'd like to maybe mention.
Go for it.
The first one is probably a hot take, but I'd like to see Elder Scrolls 1, 2, and 3. Because I don't know how easily accessible they are.
I would say.
You can get them on Games on Gold. Not Games on Gold. Good old games. GOG.
Whatever that is.
Yeah. I know what you mean, but Morrowind only came out on Xbox and PC. It's never been out on like PlayStation, so I don't know. But
it's just something, because the only experience I've got is a little bit of Morrowind, as in I've watched someone play Morrowind, I've seen gameplay of Oblivion, and then I've massively played Skyrim. I don't know, it's just something which, because I don't know how many people have actually, I've not even seen any gameplay of Elder Scrolls 1 and 2. I don't even know what it looks like. But I'd like to be able to just play it, just because at least if it's on a compilation, it'd be quite easy to just get into.
I'm sure you can get compilations of it. But like, I do have the original Elder Scrolls when I work on DOS. So yeah, and like Daggerfall and Arena as well. I've got those, and they were invented like back in the day where the normal WASD controls did not exist. So it's fucking anything goes. What's move forward? Oh, it's the Y button. Okay. What's move backwards? Enter. What the fuck? That's literally what the control scheme's like. It's a fucking nightmare. And I swear it uses like every single button on the keyboard for something.
Yeah, so that was my first suggestion. And my second one is Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Colosseum, and then there was the one on the Wii as well. Was it Pokemon Revolution?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. Or maybe more expansion of the Pokemon Stadium series.
Yeah, I don't think that'll ever happen, because all they really were was a glorified way of getting more money off you and like just using like a transfer pack.
Yeah. Isn't that the whole idea of compilations anyway?
No, I mean like literally for like transferring your data from like your Game Boy cartridge.
Oh yeah. But I mean, like as a standalone knockoff, just play it because it's fun.
I'd say as fun as Stadium was, it is more of a gimmick than a game.
Nah, I loved it. I loved it.
I'd love
to be able to play it with like partly updated graphics and the same cheesy commentator doing everything he does.
Mm.
Yeah, I'd love to be able to just replay through all the Pokemon like Colosseum, especially Pokemon Colosseum. I'd love to be able to play that again on like an updated engine or whatever.
That commentator is so iconic, though.
Yeah, the trainer hasn't issued an order.
Can I point out very quickly that commentator is not played by Tom Kenny?
Oh, I never would have guessed.
Oh yeah, Crisis. We're going to talk about Crisis very quickly. So, if you haven't played it, let's just very, very quickly. It did have some cool mechanics. It had like some Easter eggs in it, but the main mechanic, apart from being like a bit like Call of Duty, like first-person shooter, is your character had like sort of alien super suit.
Yeah.
And you can just play it like normal, like Call of Duty, but you had like two modes you could toggle between, but they use up like an energy bar, so you can only use them for so long. One mode was like made you like camouflage, so you could do all like Metal Gear Solid stealth shit. And then the other mode like put on like a really hard shield on you, and not only could you like just tank everything, but you could also do like charging attacks, and, like, kind of like knock people down, that kind of stuff. So you had like the two modes you can swap between. So basically like a berserk mode and a stealth mode, as well as like your normal mode. So it's kind of like down to you how you did it. And it did have a sort of experience system from what I remember. So you can like stat points into like your different modes if you had like a preferred play style. So it did mix things up a bit. It was, yeah, I'd say it's well worth a play, the Crisis games, if you've been sleeping on them.
I enjoyed the second one when I played it. I feel like I personally wouldn't play it again, but I enjoyed my time with it.
Yeah, it's been a very long time since I've played it, but as I say, when else are we going to get to talk about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say they're good games. They're good games. They're not fantastic. They are good.
Well, I guess that's our answer to that question. That was a big answer.
Yeah, it bloody well was, wasn't it?
That's what happens when you haven't got much to talk about and you.
Well, I've got plenty to talk about.
Oh, I mean,
I've been
more for
busy.
Brandon.
I'd say just give me a topic. I'll talk shit.
Well, same for all of us there.
Yeah.
That's this podcast. Fun fact, listeners, the original working title for this was like, give us a topic and we talk shit.
Chat shit, get bagged.
No, not that.
I was about to say,
None of that goes on here.
No, none of that. Who do you think you are, Bobby Cotty?
Yeah. You think you're voiced by Tom Kenny, Brandon?
Yeah.
Yes, guys. That's why Brandon's been quiet this episode, is because we haven't actually got Brandon with us because he's moving house. We've actually replaced him with Tom Kenny.
Yeah.
I'm currently
No
cutting
one's
bank
noticed.
statements.
Fun stuff. Well, so films. Let's talk films. I've watched a couple. Before I talk about what I've talked about, has anybody seen anything? Pretty sure the answer is no.
I've seen fuck all.
I have seen stuff, but as I said, a lot of it's new anime stuff.
Yeah, I'm in that same boat.
Not really. I think I'm going to give it a little bit more time so that things develop before I give some thoughts if I want to. But I watched 2 animated films a little while back. Just not had a chance. Not a chance to talk about them. One is Western and one is Japanese. So I watched Words Bubble Up Like Soda Pop a couple of weeks back, which is a Japanese anime film. It looks amazing and sounds amazing, but story wise I've seen it all before, but it was a really fun film to watch. The story's a bit like if you'd know more, Brandon, like A Silent Voice or Your Name.
Don't say that because I've still not seen
Oh,
them.
fuck's sake. Have you seen Your Name?
No.
Oh my god! So it's like a romance kind of
I think
story.
Clan Eyed, if that helps.
It's like a romance story with a guy who's filling in for his mum at work, and he meets a girl who likes to be basically wants to be kind of like a TikToker or Instagram star, and does viral videos. But the big thing is she's got a buck tooth. So she wears a mask and it's just a nice romance thing. It was fine. And then the other anime film I watched was it's called Hilda and the King of the Mountain Giant, or King of the Mountains, which is a Western animation. So Hilda it's all on Netflix. There's 2 seasons of it. It's based off a American or Western comic. I'm not sure if it's American or what. And the series is really good. I remember I got to the end of the first season and I was like, oh, I want to watch some more. And apparently, the second season was coming out a week later, so I was like, oh, I've not actually got long to wait. And I binged the second season, got to the end of it, and I was like, I saw the ending, and I was like, I can't believe I have to wait to see what happens now, because it it was really good. And now I watched the film, and it carried on what I liked about the show. Although I got halfway through and I was like, I think I know where this whole plot's going, and I got it correct. But it was still a good watch. What they do in Hilda, because it's all about a girl called Hilda, and she moves to a town, and it's just her adventures in this town, and she and all the younger kids are voiced by kids, funny enough, all British kids, funny enough. So it's kind of nice seeing like young voice actors in this show. But yeah, there were the two films I've watched recently. Come on, Chris. Lay it down.
Okay, so head down. I can't watch films if I got my head down.
Lay it down.
Oh, let it down. Okay, well, I'll do both. Sean. Right, so Dan mentioned this film the other week, but I finally got round to watching The Matrix Resurrections. And can I just say, that is indeed a film that exists, and I watched. It's not very good. I'm sorry, it's not very good. It's not very good.
Did you fall asleep like I did?
I didn't. I did manage to stay awake, but I did twiddle around on my phone a bit while I was doing it. It had a couple of good ideas. The film's like 2.5 hours long. It could have easily been 90 minutes. I thought the plot was kind of predictable. We sort of knew how it was kind of going to end. The action sequences aren't very good. They're like few and far between, and when they happen, there's nothing bombastic like the original ones. They're all very by the numbers. It's a film that really tries to bait your nostalgia by saying, "Oh, wasn't the Matrix film? Weren't they good?" And they go to the absolute extremes because they keep recycling clips of the first film in the film.
Oh no!
As if to say, "Oh yeah, you should just be watching this instead because it's better." I mean, it's a weird one. I mean, the acting's not bad. I mean, come on, it's Keanu Reeves. The man's built to play a block of wood, but he plays that block of wood really well. Yeah, they have several actors in who are not meant to be like certain characters on the originals, like Morpheus and Agent Smith. No, they are meant to be them, and it does give an explanation of why they look different and why it doesn't tell you why the original actors won't return. But yeah, they just don't work. They just don't. It's like, no, you're trying to sell me this guy as Agent Smith. It's like, no, he's really not. He's like Agent Smith if you got him off Wish.com. It's like, no, it just didn't work. And from what I understand, the whole film was basically forced on like Lana Wachowski to make it. So it's almost like they just sort of bowed to peer pressure and just spent like £300 million just to waste everyone's time. Is basically how it feels.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it's not very good at all. I'm sorry. I wanted to like it as well because I do like the originals, and I have watched them all fairly recently, so they're all fairly fresh in my mind. But yeah, don't bother. Just watch the first one again. So yeah, I watched that. The second film I watched was one that came out around Christmas time. For some reason, I decided to watch Encanto. I was just flicking through and thought, what can I watch? Encanto. I've not seen that. And as of the moment, I've seen earlier, apparently one of the songs in it, We Don't Talk About Bruno, is currently in the UK #1.
It is.
Which says something about our music scene.
Yeah, I heard about that, but I didn't. To be fair, I didn't even hear about the film until today. I didn't know it existed.
I've seen it, but I watched it on Christmas Day with my family, and we were more opening presents than watching the film. But it did seem really good, to be fair. But I want to give it a proper watch. But my only thing is with this film is the main character. I don't know what she's called. But she looks like someone I used to work with. So I just imagine this person I used to work with instead of whoever this is. It just reminds me of her every time I see this film. I'm like, is it that person? Oh no, it's no. Yeah. Anyway, what did you think? Is it any good, Chris?
It's fine. There's a lot of singing in it, which isn't really my bag. And there just seems to be a lot of how can I put it? It feels more poppy than a lot of other Disney ones do. I don't know if that's the right way to phrase it, but that's how it felt to me. It felt like, oh, these songs feel like they're trying to be on the Billboard. Well, yeah, like I swear, like one of them just sounded like it was Lady Gaga singing something, and it wasn't, but that's how it felt. And when I was watching it, I was just like staring at the ceiling. I was like, oh God, can you wrap this up, please? I understand people like musicals and that, but they're not really my thing at all. And I don't know what I was expecting from watching a Disney film, but a lot of the newer Disney ones haven't really done much in the way of musicals. Like Wreck-It Ralph, one of my favourite ones, doesn't have any singing in it. But they did in the sequel. What? Second one does, yeah, and it's fucking garbage, so we don't talk about the second one.
I'll be honest. I do like some of the songs in the second one.
I can't stand the film as a whole. I thought it was garbage.
Because the song, what's it? Slaughter Race. They do a remix of it at the end in the end credits, and I was like, I really like this version.
If the best thing you can say about the film is the end credits, they've probably fucked up. Yeah, but yeah, Encanto I suppose it's fine. I didn't hate it. There was too much singing in it for my liking, though. There's like no real antagonist. It's more about all coming to like making sure like the family ties are together. That's the kind of moral from it.
Yeah, I got that vibe when I was watching it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll stick with Wreck-It Ralph, and I'll stick with Die Hard personally. But I suppose it's not bad. But for me, I think I've seen pretty much every Disney film. I say I don't like Disney film, but I think I've seen every single one. Oh, apart from is it Luca? I've not seen that yet. I'm not sure how interested I am.
Pixar, but
that's Pixar. Well, it's Disney, isn't it? Yeah. I haven't seen that yet, but I'm not sure how I'm interested in it, because that's meant to be more of a sort of slice of life kind of thing, from what I understand. Yeah. I'm not sure if that really does it for me. We'll see though. Maybe I'll be proven wrong. I will get around to watching it. And I've said it on the podcast now, so I suppose I have to. I've committed to it.
You're compelled now.
God damn it. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's fine, I guess. Yeah. If you like Disney films and singing, and you probably do, if you're watching it, then yeah, go for it. It won't hurt. It won't hurt. It was better than Matrix Resurrections. Somehow.
I can see myself watching a lot more Disney films once I'm actually in the new house, because obviously my partner's got Disney Plus, so I'm going to be trying to abuse it. Well, when I get internet, I can abuse it as much as I want.
I'll be careful there for a moment. I thought you said you were about to abuse your partner. So what?
No, abusing Disney Plus, because obviously I've been sheltered from all the Marvel films. I've been sheltered from a lot of other bits, so it'd be nice. It'd just be very, very nice to just go through and watch all those.
Brandon's going to come out his cage and be like, the sun!
What is this? It's the sun I see before. Yeah, I'll start busting out Disney songs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come out as a new man.
Oh god, it's come together. I'm now living in the Disney musical. Like fuck.
Funny if
Is this what happened with like the whole Matrix thing? I've accidentally stepped into it, and my reality is just a Disney musical. I didn't see that coming.
Funny enough, I actually did go to a musical the other week.
Mm.
It was a Bob Marley musical. It was alright actually.
Was it jamming?
It was jammy. It like all the songs were just Bob Marley songs, so it was fine. I was like, I don't have to have anything cheesy. It's gonna be Bob Marley. I like Bob Marley, so music wise, it's all gonna be decent. So
You're telling me a Bob Marley musical and it had Bob Marley music in it? What the
Who
hell?
would have thought?
I know.
At least one enough Tom Kenny in it.
Yeah. At least it didn't have Bobby Kotick.
Oh, fuck off, Bobby Kotick. You know what? I hope for all of eternity Bobby Kotick just has to watch Wreck-It Ralph 2 and repeat forever. Arse.
Right, I know this might sound a bit premature, but it's just literally popped in my mind, and I thought now's probably the best time to ask. Who here is looking forward to Jackass Forever?
Yes, we spoke about this before. Like,
Yeah, we have.
definitely.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was already out.
No,
Comes out next month.
Yeah. Next month. Or I might have to make a cinema trip for that.
That's
I
literally what I
have
was thinking. Like, I want to go cinema and watch this. It'll be so nice watching Jackass at the cinema.
Wait, Brandon, will you be in Leicester at that point, living?
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm paying the deposit stuff for this week, so hopefully we should get some news next week on a completion date. So it should be. Hopefully, we should all be settled by the middle of February.
Probably about to say middle of November. Like,
Yeah,
I was going to say no in British rate. I was so close to saying November, so I was like, okay, November, yeah, probably sounds about right.
oh.
But now, middle of February, we should be starting to settle down.
Wait,
Well,
you'll be in for February, but it'll be November by the last time you finally unpack.
Well, a little birdie said to me the other day that he wanted to take someone else to see Jackass Forever. So I'll tell him and be like, oh, let's invite Brandon as well. So,
Yeah, I really want to go see it so bad.
by the way, the people I'm talking are people are friends. It's just
the
like
crew.
the crew, the boys, the download peeps, to say
The
more,
download, yeah.
the posse. I don't know.
Yeah, I just thought it was a bit of a tangent, but it just popped on my mind because I just looked at my DVD shelf because obviously I'm partway through packing, and I just look at my box of like old Jackass the Explicit collection, which I guess does that class as a compilation?
I guess.
Because like Jackass 1, 2, 3, 3.5. I was like, and 2.5 is there as well.
It only counts as a compilation game if you play it on your PlayStation.
Well, how about
DVD
I can play it on the PlayStation because it's a DVD, it can act as a DVD reader.
Well, yeah, mate, it's got an interactive menu as well. You can use the D-pad for that.
There we go. I can
There
play
we go.
Jackass Forever.
It's got more gameplay than Tony Hawk 5.
Yeah, it just popped in my mind because I just saw. I was like, oh yeah, that's coming out in a few weeks' time.
Well, there we go. That's something to look forward to next month.
Mm.
So I can pretty much guarantee we'll be talking about that. Unless we all try and do one of the stunts in the film and don't make it to recording.
Wait. I think I've just had an epiphany. Hold on, I need to look at some release dates for this.
Dangerous thought, that Brandon.
What's that?
Dangerous thoughts.
It says here, is it 4th of February for Jackass Forever? Oh, that's like what? That's not very far away, actually.
It's like 2 weeks.
I thought it was late. I thought it was slightly later than that. Oh, it is 4th of February.
Mm.
Okay, now I need to look at my calendar. I need to know what day of the week that is. I think it's a Thursday.
It's a Friday.
Friday. Sick, lads. Night out. Jackass Forever.
Cinema on a Friday night.
It's not happening, is it?
No, fucking no chance.
I've got work next day as well.
Probably
Next
the
morning.
week after. The week after.
Is
I ain't going anywhere near
is it
cinema when it's
actually
back.
is it gonna be out, or is it just a 1 day thing?
I had no idea.
I'll have to find that one out.
I know Belle is playing in the cinema. It's a new anime film. I wanted to go see that night, but so far the two people I told or asked have said nothing. Yay! So, but I wanted to see that on that was in the cinema because I've already listened to the soundtrack and it's amazing. So even if the film's bad, the soundtrack is phenomenal. Because when I went to see Spider-Man No Way Home, actually, the trailer for Belle was there. It was just weird being on like opening night for Spider-Man No Way Home and having this anime film pushed in everyone's faces, and I was just there like, oh my gosh, I want to see this film just for the music. It's amazing.
I'm sorry, I'm really off topic. I'm literally looking around to see if I can find dates for these. I'm on the wrong website. No wonder I can't find freaking dates.
Is there anything else any of us want to talk about?
Yeah, well, very quickly, while Brandon's looking up that, I started rewatching a relatively short series that came out a couple of years ago, but I put it on because I genuinely couldn't remember much of it until I put it back on, and then it like all flooded back in. It's like, oh yeah, but it's a decent little series. Have you seen one called Living with Yourself on Netflix?
No,
starring Paul Rudd?
No.
No. Well, basically, the premise of it is Paul Rudd's like he's like having a midlife crisis. He's unhealthy. His job's down the pan. He's miserable, and he sees like this advert for a place that claims to like be able to cure everything. So and they'll bring out all the best qualities of him. So he goes down, sorts it out, and it works. He comes out the place like feeling the best he's ever been. He's upbeat and positive. He's starting smashing it at work. The downside is the way they did that is the health clinic cloned him, and the original Paul Rudd is left for dead, buried in like the place's backyard. But he survives the procedure and comes back. So there's basically two of him. One of them is like the best version of himself, and then the original. So that's the premise of it, and it's basically double the Paul Rudds arguing amongst themselves. It's only 10 episodes, and the episodes are only like half hour each, so you can watch it in a weekend if you want. So it's a good little laid back watch. I do recommend it if you haven't seen it.
Well, I know this week I've got a few things that are coming out. There's something coming out tomorrow and something coming out, I think, Friday. Both actually related to D&D, actually. So tomorrow, I've got the Dungeon Daddies season 2, so I'll be listening to that. And do you either of you know of Critical Role?
Nope.
Well, their campaign 1 animation comes out on Friday, so that looks really cool. So I'll be watching that.
All I know is every time you say Dungeon Daddies, it sounds like something I don't want to click on.
Why do you think their tagline for it is not a BDSM podcast?
Fair enough. You can see where the confusion may lie.
Oh, yes.
Brandon, have you found the thing yet you were looking for?
It is viewing, so I managed to see it on the Odeon, so it is going to be airing for a weekend at least. If any of those dates are more applicable to anyone.
Oh, we'll find out.
That we will.
But there is another thing, Chris. you might want to talk about? As if
Oh,
top-down game.
there is a game. As if it's
I was gonna
hitting
say,
on death's door.
yes. Well, you've managed to catch me without a metaphor. So,
I've made you speechless.
yes,
as
'cause
if
I was
death
gonna-
is at your door.
yeah, because I was going to say something around, "Oh, you're knocking on my door." You kind of took it away from me. So, what can you do?
Knock on heaven's door.
Quick, insert a "Don't you open that trap door," because there's something down there, and then realise that's got nothing to do with anything. What? Oh yeah, Death's Door. Death's Door is a game that's on Game Pass, and it exists, and it's great. I've only played it for like 4 hours or so.
Only 4 hours.
I don't know how big the game is, to be honest with you, but Death's Door, if you've not heard of it, is a sort of isometric top-down Zelda-like game, but it's got some kind of Dark Souls-like mechanics. Most notably, like how the maps play out. Like there's a lot of like finding shortcuts to like go back to your equivalent of the bonfire in the game. But the combat's more Zelda-like. You dodge around a bit. I suppose a little bit like Bastion as well. If you've played games like that, reminds me of that a little. Well, but it's like if you put Bastion, Zelda, and Dark Souls in a blender, you'll get Death's Door.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I'm really having a laugh of it. It's a great little game. Which I did see one or two YouTubers like mention it, but like only in passing, like nothing like great detail. But I'd seen it came on Game Pass, and my eyebrows raised. Went, oh, that's that game those channels are on about. So I downloaded it to check it out, and yeah, it's very, very good. I'm having a great time playing it. I'm going to play it as soon as this podcast is wrapped up. Yeah, Death's Door on Game Pass. Check it out; it's very good.
I'm just gonna bring up some images so I can actually get an idea of what it looks like.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be quite worried if I type in Death's Door on images.
I'm trying to think of a way to describe the art style, and my mind is empty. But it kind of looks like. Did you ever play the game Absolver?
No.
No.
Art is pretty though.
Or The Witness. Kind of graphically, it's a bit like that. Like
I'm looking at it now. It does look pretty interesting.
Oh, it's well worth playing, especially if you can get it on Game Pass for free.
And then for some reason, I've just seen a character who looks like she's straight from Spirited Away.
Yep, yeah, there's a bit of influence there. So the idea of it is you play as a crow, who's basically a reaper. That's kind of like what you're told to do. So like the Grim Reaper's sort of office. He's got like a sort of bureaucracy thing going on. Sort of there's a bit of flavour, but I've not played enough of it to like really go in depth story wise. So, but I'll probably talk about this again when I've finished it, like just in passing. But yeah, I'm having a really good time with it.
So what would you say is a difficult game? Because when you say it's like Dark Souls, would you say it's difficult, or is it more just a casual play?
I've not found it very difficult. I've died a couple of times, but I haven't found it all that difficult. There are like ways you can level up. It's got like the equivalent of Souls, but it's handled a little bit differently. You basically have like 5 skills which can level up like 5 times, and they've got like a sort of fixed cost amount of how much they go up by each. So you do get like souls for killing enemies, and you find them in the overworld as well. But to be honest, how it kind of works, it's not like worth grinding, because enemies do respawn, but to get like the first skill, it costs like 400 souls. But when you kill enemies, you literally get like 1 soul. And then, but the exploration comes into it, like you find souls just on the overworld. I'm not sure if this is changes, but so far everyone I've found has rewarded me like 100 souls. So it's basically you find 4, you get another upgrade. But then the upgrades for the next node in like the skill tree goes up to like 400, then 600, and 800, I think, off the top of my head. So, yeah, plays like that. So you're encouraged to explore. There's like secrets everywhere. So there's like because it's isometric, it does the thing where you sort of like hug round buildings and sort of find nooks like hidden behind scenery, that kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, very good. It's a very good game. Really enjoying it.
Yeah, as Brandon was saying, like the art style is very abstract and a bit different. And
It reminds me of a more cartoon version of Little Nightmares.
Yeah, and as you say, that character definitely does look like she's from Spirited Away.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I suppose it does. Yeah.
Take it, it's a boss.
I don't want to spoil anything.
You'll have to play it to find out.
I suppose what I will say, it does the same sort of thing as Dark Souls does. It's like you get to like you finish like the beginning area, and then it says, "Oh, you should go here, here, and here." It's like, "Oh, we're doing the Four Lords thing again." Okay, got you.
Okay.
Well, if there's nothing else, I think that'll be us done.
We still chatting shit for nearly 2 hours.
Yeah, I don't think I've got anything else I really want to discuss. No, I think we're good. So we're looking forward to Jackass. Maybe we may have seen it by the time we record the next one.
It depends on if I get internet or not. I don't know how long it takes for a house to get internet.
About a week.
We'll see. Yeah,
it all
we give
depends
it
on that. Because right, so just for context, when is this episode due to release?
2 weeks today, won't it?
Yeah.
2 weeks today, and then so what does that take us? 2 weeks today takes us to the 7th of February. And then 2 weeks after that is the week release of Elden Ring.
Ooh. Wow, we got some good stuff to look forward to.
I can't wait for that.
And you got Pokemon Arceus this.
Yeah, Arceus this. Is it this week?
Yeah, this.
It's out on Friday. Yeah, I'll be playing that day one, but I'd have already played it by the time this comes out.
Yeah.
So I look forward to my thoughts on it next week on the next podcast.
Well, there's not much else. That'll be us. So, like always, check out our social media. You know where it is: Facebook, Instagram. I see Chris's. All of our Instagrams are on the link description. If you are listening on Spotify, you can rate our podcast. So just go on our podcast, give it a rating. It's a new feature to Spotify, so you can now rate podcasts. All the podcasts I listen to, I gave them a rating, and I gave them an honest rating because that's who I am. So 5 out of 5 for every single one.
Yeah, that's fair. I tell you what, as an incentive, for every time you rate the podcast 5 stars, I will personally send Bobby Kotick an email calling you a cunt.
So go on, rate our podcast, whatever you want to give us, the higher the better.
I rate it a bacon out of Christmas dinner.
Give it 5 Patrick stars out of 5 Patrick stars, or whatever you want to do. I don't know.
It's what Tom Kenny would have wanted.
Indeed.
I imagine.
Yes. But yeah, I would say Brandon and Chris will be streaming. Well, Chris will. I don't know about Brandon.
I'll be streaming for this week and maybe the start of next weekend. That'll probably be kaput until like the middle of February.
Indeed.
But it all depends on just how long it takes for. I've got no idea how long these things take. For all I know, I can move in. Have no gas, electric, or anything. I don't know. I don't know anything.
But like, how do I adult?
I can go shops and I'm no joke. Every day when I go to work, obviously I'll get access to the internet. I'll be just downloading as much crap on Crunchyroll as I can, just so I've got something to watch at home.
You see,
I'll be downloading like 30 episodes a night.
You see, Brandon,
or a day at work.
You see, Brandon, I don't pay for that level on Crunchyroll, so I don't download stuff on Crunchyroll.
Oh, mate, it's such a
Because
blessing, especially on the train journeys.
I'm that ignorant. I feel like I should be able to do that, regardless. As much as I like Crunchyroll, I hate the fact that you have to pay extra to download stuff. So I will never.
Do you?
Yeah, that's the one thing
shit.
I really detest about Crunchyroll.
But it's a paid-for service.
I know.
Why the fuck would they do that? That's bullshit.
I really hate it so much.
To be fair, I don't even know how much I pay for it. I think it's what, 60 a year. I think I pay.
You know what makes it even worse? You don't even need to pay more to download on Funimation.
You don't on anything else. You don't on Netflix.
Crunchyroll is the only
There's
one.
There's like 3 tiers of subscription on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, there is.
Why? It should be just one. You buy the damn thing, or you don't. Ugh.
But the main incentive was I just didn't want adverts, and I just wanted to be able to watch stuff while I'm on the train journey to and from work. So in terms of like entertainment value, it's been hella worth it for me.
I may be wrong, but I have noticed. You know how Disney Plus were doing like the charging extra for like Mulan and Black Widow. I haven't noticed them do that. Like, I'm hoping they've knocked that on the head. I may be wrong though.
I think they have. I think they stopped now that things are coming back into the cinema.
Yeah, because that was horse shit. It wasn't like it was even cheap. Like what Amazon Prime do is like, just like a couple of quid. And I was like, no, it's fucking 30 quid. Like, piss off.
That's an extortionate amount.
Yeah. I think they try and justify it by saying, oh, that's how much you pay at the cinema. And it's like, no, I fucking wouldn't. I'll do what I do with most films at the cinema. I'll watch it at home for free. So, no.
Well, that'll be us. As I said, you can find us all on our social medias. Links in the description. Rate us on Spotify, or if you rate us on whatever Apple Podcasts, I just do it. I don't know.
Make sure to leave comments and questions because we do answer them.
Yes,
we do. Very, 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 very quickly, very cheekily. Because I started doing this because some people asked me if I'd do it, so I went, yeah. I've been doing a couple of ASMR readings on my YouTube channel, and I may do more. So if that sounds like your thing, go to Spanky Rambles on YouTube. I've done like The Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe and From Beyond by H.P. Lovecraft so far, but I plan to do more. So if you've got trouble sleeping, and for some reason all 3 of our voices aren't doing it, then may I recommend you listen to Tom Kenny. And if that doesn't work, you can try my YouTube channel.
Indeed.
Just a quick plug, you know, what I've got you.
There you go.
I'm a cheeky fucker, aren't I?
Well, this has been the episode 19.
19.
Yeah.
Nearly 20.
I tell you what.
The Legend of Tom Kenny.
The Legend of Tom Kenny. Oh, that's a great episode. That's the episode title. Done. Tom Kenny Compilation.
Tom Kenny Compilation.
Done. It just rolls off the tongue. Perfect. Got it. In the bag. Boom.
It does. There you go. Tom Kenny Compilation. With that, we'll leave you. Be safe as always. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And don't forget to tell Bobby Kotick he's a twat.
For fuck's sake, every time.